Richard Steele once said that reading is to the mind as exercise is to the body. And frankly, I couldn't agree more. Now, you might be wondering, who is Richard Steele? And honestly, I was thinking the same thing about 10 minutes ago when I was looking for a quote to start this video. This is a picture of Sir Richard Steele. He was born in 1672. He died in 1729. He was an Irish writer and a politician. He ran the magazine called The Spectator, and he was rich enough to pay someone to paint a portrait of him because there was no photography back then. I would love to know if that's his real hair, wouldn't you? Well, regardless of his hair, Richard Steele was a pretty smart guy, and I would have to agree with him about the whole reading as exercise for your brain thing. It is really important. And all you have to do is maybe 20 or 30 minutes a day, and it doesn't have to be all at the same time. You could read a little bit one time and then read a little bit again. You could read different things. Some people love to read books. Some people love to read newspaper articles. Some people love to go into a magazine and just read a magazine for half an hour. However you read is great. That's fine, as long as you're exercising your brain. One book I've been reading to exercise my brain recently is The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. The title is a mouthful. It's long, a lot of big words, but it is a fantastic book. It's written by Kate DiCamillo, who is an awesome author who has a ton of books that she's written over a very long career of hers. She's written The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. She's written Tales of Despero. She's written The Magician's Elephant. She's written a ton of books. Here's a quick picture of all of the covers so you can look at it. Maybe you go to the bookstore, you see a cover, and you think, oh, I saw that in Sean's video. I'm going to pick that one up because he said he really liked Kate DiCamillo. All right, so let's talk about the book. So here's the cover, once again, very quickly, as I show it to you. There it is. Maybe you've seen it before, maybe you haven't. I have no idea. It's a really good book. So here's what it's about. It's about this China rabbit. Not from China. It's a rabbit that's made of China. China's kind of like a porcelain, a fancier way of saying porcelain. And this China rabbit is owned by Abilene, and Abilene loves Edward. Abilene leaves him sitting on a chair looking out the window, so when she comes back from school, he sees her, she sees him, and they spend the rest of the day together. They love each other. He loves her, she loves him. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Everybody's happy, at least in the beginning of the book. But then you need a conflict because every good book has some sort of problem. The problem in this story kind of goes along with the title, The Miraculous Journey, because he ends up going on a journey, but it's kind of on his own. Not with Abilene, with some other characters that we meet along the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a quick little snippet of the book, kind of when the problem starts. Just a little setup quickly to this little section I'm going to read. Abilene is on a boat. There are two boys who are not being very nice and have grabbed Edward and are playing kind of monkey in the middle with Edward after taking off all of his clothes, which they thought was hilarious. "Please," cried Abilene, "don't throw him. He's made of china. He'll break." Martin threw Edward, and Edward sailed naked through the air. Only a moment ago, the rabbit had thought that being naked in front of a shipload of strangers was the worst thing that could happen to him. But he was wrong. It was much worse being tossed in the same naked state from the hands of one grubby, laughing boy to another. Amos caught Edward and held him up, displaying him triumphantly. "Throw him back!" called Martin. Amos raised his arm, but just as he was getting ready to throw Edward, Abilene tackled him, shoving her head into his stomach and upsetting the boy's aim. So it was that Edward did not go flying into the dirty hands of Martin. Instead, Edward Tulane went overboard. And there you have it. Kind of the start of the conflict. Edward's overboard. What happens to him next? Where does he go? Where does this journey bring him? Only you can really find out. I'm not going to tell you. I'm only halfway through the book myself. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the second half of the book. So what are you waiting for? Go exercise your brain like Richard Steele said. Go do it outside. He probably couldn't do it outside very often. He was from Ireland. It's always raining there. Another thing you could do to pass the time is go back and watch my old videos. Well, my old one video, because this is just the second one of a whole bunch of them. Finally, if you have a book that you want me to read, that you want me to review, that you want me to enjoy, you can email me those too. I'd love to hear them. Kids always are sending me good books. My students give me good books to read. I've got a bunch to share with you, but if you have some to share with me that you want me to spread the word about, please send them along my way. I'm having a hard time figuring out how to sign off this video, and probably most of my videos. It's kind of a hard thing to do. How do you wrap it all up? What do you need to do? So I thought I would ask for your help. If you have some sort of clever sign-off phrase you want me to use, send it my way. Maybe I'll use it. Maybe I'll use multiple ones over the course of different videos. Until I get ones that are good, I'm just going to give you some bad jokes. So here's the first joke. What do you call a fake noodle? Give up? An impasta! See you next time.